welcome back to another episode of Into the Pit. And I am so glad that we've reached out and we got a hold of Patrick Cross again. I'm actually interviewed him some time back, but in his world, things are starting to move. And I'm just curious what's going on. How are you doing, Mr. Cross?
Good. Always good. Trying to avoid, demons, entities, ghosts, and everything else, but staying alive. And I say I have to compliment you because you look like a vampire hunter tonight. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's like, hey, Van Helsing, you're cool.
Hey, why not? I'll just put it back like this.
But but a lot of stuff has been happening, yes. So paranormally, yeah, I'm always there. So basically what I've been doing and involved with is lately, for some strange reason, got involved with all these kind of like haunted dolls. And not just normal haunted dolls, but just bizarre, real, active attachment dolls. Okay, so I'm just saying, well, a haunted doll, and I'm checking it out, and man, like all these, my friend of mine just says, well, she's had like these dolls for like years, and a lot of them are like 100 years old, and they're
Oh my
1800s, and they're not evil or anything. Not evil, nothing like that. It's just like they're just normal dolls, but they're like Victorian dolls, and she gets them all over the place, and they're sent to her, and we start talking and picking stuff up, and like, oh my God, I'm getting actually EVPs and intelligent conversation too. And these are most of the dolls are child attached children that are like about 5 to 11 years old. And then the one doll, for some strange reason, wants to kick my ass.
Oh my God.
And his name is Boo, and he's a black doll,
Mm-hmm.
and he's from the 1800s again. And all of a sudden, he always just starts swearing off and saying, "Oh, screw you," and "I'll swear," and everything. And then he's drinking my beer. Like I have a beer in front of him, and he started getting hear him slurping on it and drinking on it. Totally bizarre. And he loves the beer, and we actually got a mug for him, and we poured it, and you can literally see it going down. And he slurps and he says and all this stuff, and it's just, and he swears, and he farts, and it's just we have it on VP and his recordings. It's just totally bizarre. And he's also known till now to blow things up.
Oh my gosh.
So we got him actually on EVPs now and video. So when we say something which we didn't really mean, we say, well, Boo, you're upset, you're frustrated, go blow things up. And he actually does. So we've been documenting this, and it's just getting more and more weird. And the first thing that happened, he blew up like my girlfriend's a stove before Christmas. Right after she got him. Thought it was weird, just didn't work. Nothing was working at all. Next, he blew up her garage door, and that didn't work. And this went on, and then we thought, well, we'll figure it all out, record him, and he always said, yeah, I did it, and he'd fart and something else. Then finally, he's getting worse, and we said, blow up. So I was going to her house the other day, and it was a Friday, and driving along, not thinking about anything, I said, like, Boo, just go blow something up, because we're trying to get video for this new show, right?
Right.
And because they want it all, and they want to document it. So next thing you know, car comes flying out of nowhere, speeding, smashes right into a light pole, and blows up.
Oh my
And
God.
Boo is right there and just going on. He's just like laughing his head off, and it's just hilarious. And I caught it on video. And that never happens. Like, it just right in front of me, and it's like, oh my God, like, did I cause it, or did I just say him to do it, right?
Right.
And before that, a couple of days before, we went to a famous haunted kind of like restaurant called the Flying Saucer in Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. And we asked them to do something. Sure enough, 3 minutes later, all the fire alarms go off, and all the cops come, and the ambulances and the fire trucks. It's just totally bizarre. And then we get a recording of him, and he said, yeah, I did it.
God. Now, you're not afraid of like getting attached to this thing yourself?
Well, he kind of likes us, but he doesn't like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So the weird part about this doll is that we found out it's a male. It's an older man, about 35 years old. who's attached to this little doll. And we got him on our Facebook, got him on websites, and now he's getting famous. And it's just weird because he's always saying, "Oh, swearing, and I don't want to be here, and I'll screw you, and give me a beer," and he gets drunk and he he does shit. Really, it's just like the most bizarre thing I've ever met. So, we've been working on this for a bit now since December. Another TV show called Once Upon a Ghost Story, which I'm
Yeah.
doing with a TV series and a TV show. And they said, "Well, we're intrigued because we never heard of over like $1,800 they talk about. You know, you're the only one that has anything going on that's blowing things up." And we got the videos to prove it on the Facebook and on everything. So it's just phenomenal.
So is this just going to air in Canada, or are we going to get to see it here in?
Um, Hopefully we're gonna get picked up by a major network. I don't know who yet. Netflix is interested. Destination America is interested. A lot of companies are interested.
All right.
But the fact is that we have activity, and the fact that we're trying to, it's the next Annabelle. Okay, and I don't know why this guy is so mean attached to this doll, because he can leave any time. He'll actually leave from the doll, and he goes and blows stuff up and comes back and has a beer. So it's like, it's like party time and drinking. And he also we found out he likes listening to AC/DC, and
Oh no.
we play heavy rock music, and it's like even worse going on. So uh, it's just bizarre.
Now, are we ever going to get to see Haunted Case Files again, or is that just over?
As far as I know, it's over. They did 2 seasons. I don't think they have enough stories, and I just don't really have. I think they can afford the reenactments, but it's a good show. Like anything else, things get syndicated, and move on to another show, right? So there's so many shows. My problem is that I try to stay with the reality of things and
Yeah.
something that is professional. So I actually turn down shows because people are just out for sensationalism, and you want to research it, you want to do it, you want to do it properly, you want to do the right thing. And they go, no, let's make it sensational, let's blow things, leave this all stuff. And the only reason we're recording with Boo is because it's haunted dolls have always been an attraction for people, and the fact that it's old and it's 1800s and Victorian, it's not just like something else that's just, oh, I got a haunted doll on eBay and stuff. So we carefully researched everything and recorded all before we pitched it, and everybody's seen it, witnesses have seen it, producers have seen it. It's just phenomenal how this thing can go. He doesn't really want to talk, he just wants to blow up stuff. So I don't know.
I'd be afraid that it would hurt me in the process.
Like, we don't go and force or tell him to go blow up something, but it was just funny, we were testing it, and on like 5-6 occasions now he's done it. Like, he's actually gone and done something. We go, oh my God, and we video recorded it.
Man, I'm kind of anxious to see that myself. I mean, you sit here and you tell this to someone, and they're probably thinking, "Oh, you're crazy." But I mean, I have seen some of the things that in the past that you've had on, especially on television, and then of course you got all your posts that we see on Facebook. Some of those pictures are actually kind of funny.
Well, we the one we just have to put up stuff because it's just hilarious. We're taking him everywhere on tour, and we took him to haunted, like, again, the flying saucer, and everybody loved him. And we've been putting him with aliens and putting him everywhere else. So it's just hilarious how this is going on, and just pictures everywhere of Boo, and he's blowing up stuff, and he's with the the UFOs, and the next thing he's going to be abducted or something. So I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Man, so are you still pretty affiliated with most of the television over in Canada? That was like ET Canada and a few others.
Yeah, like, I mean, it comes in waves. Whenever they think something's cool, they'll do it. Right now, this whole sadly the pandemic thing and the whole virus thing has taken over. So I just add some humor to it because they go, hey, we got this doll, and we're just putting some fun pictures up and making people have fun again, right? Because it's hilarious, and you got to get out, and eventually when all this is over, I'm sure a lot of people will get back to normal and do things and do what they want. So we're trying to make it fun and entertaining at the same time, but at the same time, the world's too serious right now. It
Oh
is. It
yeah.
really is. You know.
Well, it's time that we accept each other for our differences. I actually had that discussion with someone earlier today, and you have your beliefs, I have my beliefs, and why can't we just enjoy each other's company without making it a war? Because that seems like everywhere, especially here in the States. You got the Democrats and the Republicans, and people are attacking people just for wearing certain clothes and hats and
Oh, I
things like
know.
that.
I
It's
know. It's just
stupid.
nuts.
And
It's
now we
nuts.
got this going on. People are fighting over toilet paper. I mean, how much butt wiping are you going to do in 3 weeks time? Seriously.
You know, it's the most minimal thing, and we've had Walmart here in Canada. Like people are fighting the odds and taking toilet paper and paper and everything. It's just nuts, you know. And like I avoid the malls, but it's crazy. Like I don't know what's going on, but I'm just doing what I'm doing and having fun with everything, and trying to stay out there and have let people know ghosts and all the other stuff. We're still investigating things.
Well, I'm not going to make light of what's going on because, I mean, I honestly don't have all the information. You hear one thing, and then the next thing you're reading another article, and, everything seems to be changing about this virus. And I understand, the need to be prepared just in case you are stuck to your home for weeks at a time. But I also grew up close to the Gulf Coast, and I can't tell you how many hurricanes that I've lived through. And we prepared, but it seems like everybody was helping each other before and after. And now it's like a big war. What, I mean, is there like some kind of spiritual war going on?
Well, I don't know if you know, but I mean, if you're psychic and sensitive, people have been saying that they've been, feeling energy, feeling a change in the energy, downloading energy. Your hearing is like going crazy. You're feeling more like you were in a plane. I don't know what's going on. If they're downloading information from UFOs, I don't know. I've been okay. I've been feeling fine, but I just, I'm not paying attention to. I think it's a lot of negativity in the air, a lot of things that are not as positive, and hopefully, when we get all through this, it's going to work out better, and everybody's going to come back to normal.
Well, it seems like there's something in the air that we're having some kind of population control or something. People are dying off and people are against each other. It's almost like The Walking Dead, you know?
Yeah, it's actually like being written right now as a movie. Stephen King would love this.
It's,
Um,
I actually heard that statement. This is like Stephen King's time right now.
and he'd probably be sitting in his chair. Wow, what can I document today? And I was like, it's just bizarre. But um, yeah, you know, they got to get over it. People got to get over it. Like we're all human. We all we all panic. But I
Of
mean, come
course.
on. There's been worse disasters like Katrina, everything else. Like
Hmm.
you said, a lot worse. Even the wars when they broke out were worse. So I think it's over exaggerated. Really, I do.
I just think it's time for people to start helping each other and working together instead of against each other. And I've taken medication a lot over the years for different ailments, and I think it's impaired my senses. And so I've made it a conscious effort to try to get off of these medications in order to get more enlightened. And I've noticed that I get real sensitive real time sometimes. Like stupidest things upset me. Of course, I know part of it's the withdrawals, but I talked to a medium friend of mine last night, and she said that it's happening to her, and a lot of people are feeling this. I mean, have you
Mm.
noticed that over there? Or
Yeah, like I've been talking to like last couple of days again, psychics, and they're all saying there's this whole thing coming down. Over this whole like kind of like take a breath, and there's always this like you said, there's like this whole thing going around, energy and whatever. Like I'm pretty sensitive picking up stuff, but I just feel like I'm more in my head and something's abducted my brain. I don't know, but
yeah.
it's like downloading a video on your head or something. I don't know what it is, but it could be just pressure in the air. It could be the changing of the seasons. It could be spring. I don't know.
Well, I know we just got out of a retrograde, didn't we?
Yeah, Mercury retrograde. So,
It
yes.
it seems like every time that comes up, all this crazy stuff happens, you know?
And then a lot of people are empathic or feeling like worse, and it, I don't know. I mean, you got to shoot like positive in the air, right? You got to I've just been avoiding everybody lately, and I find that the ghosts are more friendly than the people are. So I don't know what's going on.
It's time that we start getting back to that the love, you know? That
For
I mean,
sure.
that's just my way of thinking. I mean, maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion, but I hear mediums and psychics talking about this kind of stuff, and they're saying, and people might think I'm crazy, but I believe it myself that maybe that we're actually going to start seeing these aliens that we've talked about for all these years.
Yeah, well, like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a disclosure coming up, right? Because I mean, again, something big is supposed to happen on the 20th of March, 2020, 3rd of March. So I don't know again, but somehow everybody's feeling it, or if it is being disclosed, like I mean, tell everybody already. Who cares? We've been hearing the stories for years. Aliens are coming and invading, or like if they're coming, fine. I think a lot of it would be positive because there's a lot of positive to it. There are like a lot more future advanced technology that could probably get rid of a lot of diseases, cancer. A lot of things could be more positive. So we can't always think of gloom, the doom cycle that's happening, right?
Exactly. Well, after all these years that we've been watching television shows like Ancient Aliens and that kind of thing, I believe that we could handle it now. I
Yeah,
could be wrong, but I feel like we've been exposed to it enough, and I believe that it's been on purpose that we've kind of been desensitized, I guess, when it comes
yeah,
to aliens and it's the veil between this world and the next seems to be so thin that we're seeing more and more ghosts.
for
Agreed?
sure. Or something bigger is controlling the planet because we are destroying it, right?
Yeah.
There's so much pollution. There's so much air content. There's so much things. Too many people have just been screwing it up, and I think nature is shooting back. And I
Mm-hmm.
think whoever they are, extraterrestrials, are monitoring the planet to help save us, not to destroy it, because they would have killed us off by now.
Oh, easily. I
you know,
mean, with the advanced technology, they would have figured out some way of getting rid of us all at once.
yeah,
So, and nature itself, it's gonna balance things out. And you've seen that over and over and over again, and eventually something's got to happen. We've gotten so much technology and the concrete, the buildings, the streets, the cars, and all this stuff, and we're slowly taking over all this beautiful land and trees. Nature's going to fight back. It's got
well,
to.
that's the sad part. There's so much development, right? I mean, I lived off the land. I mean, I grew up when there was nothing there. I was even in a farmhouse at one point, living with my aunt and different people. So, it's just land and then cattle and everything else. It was nice and it was great. And and it's just like I hate cities. I can't stand cities. It's just too congested.
I can't
Even
live
where
in
I
them.
even where I live now, I'm in a townhouse, but I mean, it's like further away from the city. But I mean, it's still I can't handle a lot of crowds.
I don't mind going into the city just for a day or something like that to go do something, but I just don't see how anybody can live in all that. That's just me,
No,
though. I
no,
live just north of Austin, and the hills and the trees, and we're slowly seeing all this beauty in nature being wiped out because they want to, add a warehouse or a bunch of offices and parking lots, restaurants, things like that. I know people want to make a dollar, but come on, there's got to be some some compromise where you say, okay, that's enough. I love the
yeah.
trees. I love the beauty. I love to feel the grass and the deer and all the other creatures that are out there. I love seeing all that, and it's
Well,
going
the whole
away.
land. Grew up fishing, and you went
Exactly.
up. I used to go up north all the time, like in the cottage country, in the lodge. You go out in the lake and you relax, and it was all like beautiful, you know. We could sit out and relax and out by the lake itself. So it was, I don't know. I mean, everybody's still doing it, but it's like so congested. Like the city living is just like you say, it's congested, and it's like I think people are getting headaches, and your brain gets affected, and you don't even want to be around it, you know.
And with the spirits and things like that, when all this stuff is going on, I mean, just like when you've got a ghost that's been part of a house for so long, and then somebody comes in and wants to renovate, and all of a sudden the activity picks up. I think
Yeah.
that's going on now too with
Well,
all the
because
extra
you know the
building.
ghosts were there before you were, and that was their home, right? And then all of a sudden you're destroying what they had, and they're still caring because that was their house. And like, hey, what are you doing? Renovate. So there's going to be ghost activity. I think the spirit lives on. I think the spirit is very much a part of what their life was when they were, and if you can somehow coexist with them, that's fine, right? But I mean, most people don't are not open to stuff. Most people are, everybody's losing their whole senses, period, right now. It's all about texting and their phone, and they're on the radio and this, and they don't care about the whole value thing, or even the family value, or anybody being around anyone anymore, you know.
So maybe now that all this stuff is going on and people are kind of stuck in their homes for the most part, maybe now everybody's going to start communicating.
I think it's great in a one way because it's a slowdown. It says, hey, take
Mm.
a look and get back to family values, and get back to what, you know, people used to go out to, like house parties and house family get-togethers, and that all kind of stopped when all this internet thing came on, and everybody's like finally getting back to normal again and hanging out.
The only thing that I can really say I'm very, very disappointed about is we have the South by Southwest Festival with all
Yeah.
the music and the art and all that stuff, and they've totally canceled it. My hockey team here, they've canceled their season.
Well,
Um,
NHL here, Maple Leafs canceled the playoffs.
it's
I mean, they all
crazy.
canceled everything in Canada. If you're a big sports fan, that's a big thing. You know, even the NBA, the baseball leagues.
Oh, Patrick, are you there?
Was frozen there a sec.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my internet connection is unstable. I wonder if the storm had something to do with it. I'll have my editing guy take that part out. That's okay.
you just froze in midair. Yeah, like that.
But so is that what did you say that show that you're working on? What is it called?
Right now it's like, well, I'm kind of a host for it, but I'm also producing it, helping it out. It's a new direction, but it's called Once Upon a Ghost Story. I think it's really cool. It's just got whole new angle on it. Besides people going in and going, I'm scared. We're actually looking at things to, you know, the history and the research and what is behind it and why things happen. And you know, that's the thing. It's not just about, well, I'm scared, there's a ghost. Like, you know, we're not doing that anymore. It's back to reality, really. It's what we're, you know, why are we here, why are we doing this. It's almost like a history show, but it's a lot of you know, documenting a lot of the why things happen and why ghosts are there and what's going on, and if there's demons and stuff like that.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not real crazy about those shows that have the reenactments. I can't sit through those. The ones where they're actually going in and doing the investigating and you're seeing stuff, that's more along the line of what I like to see.
Well, that's what we, you know, that's what we got to get back to, because people are just saying anything. You know, they're saying, well, this happened and this happened, and the guy's reenacting, and it's not even the real guy. Like, again, when we did Haunted Case Files, I wasn't even being acted. Another guy was representing me. So it's like, oh my God, do I look really old or what? Who was this guy? It looked like a gas attendant or something. And they're going, oh my God. So
Well,
they're trying to portray that, but they don't want to spend the money to actually research it And it's just as, you know, simple to take a camera and go around and see what's happening, and it's more live than just doing the reenactment. So I think that's gone the way. It's gone away now, and I think a lot of people are looking to something else.
Yeah, well, I can't do those shows because they can't get Brad Pitt to do the reenactment for me. So
There you go. Yeah, or a superhero for sure. Yeah.
well, you know, I watched one of those shows and I actually knew a person that was on it, and I knew the story, and they embellished it so much, and you know, they make this out like here's this big apparition that you can completely see, and I'm sorry, I don't know of anyone that's seen a solid apparition like they show on these reenactment shows.
Well, I mean, it happens, but it's rare. I've seen stuff. Okay, I have literally been in face to face with it. Not the nicest thing, but I mean, things did happen. But I'm just saying, there was a reason why. It wasn't just because, oh, I'm gonna scare you and kick the shit out of you as a demon, right? So it was because the land itself was haunted and was being protected by the Indians and natives, and they made it, conjured it up. But in all due respect, I do things to respect things. I go to places to respect it. I'm asking nicely and politely who's here and what's here, so I'm not like in your face, you know, like we're gonna record this and get you yell and scream. Like we're not doing that. I don't think that's ever been should have been allowed, anyways.
No.
And you know, other shows have taken off and done that.
So that's a good subject to talk about because, you know, when I first got into the ghost hunting, and I was all gung ho, and you know, I watched the Ghost Adventurers and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to be like those guys, and so I'd, you know, try to provoke things. And then as I, let's say, matured during the investigating, I learned, okay, that is disrespectful, and how would you like to be treated like that? And so but you still see people on television doing that. I mean, doesn't that anger you?
It obsessed me because I spent years doing research. I'd always been for the history and always doing things properly.
Hmm.
And we spent so much time. There's so much people doing the right thing, and then you get some Yahoo going on a TV show, going, "Oh, they're just scare ghosts and cause them up," and they have not spent any time on what they're doing or who it's about or what their equipment is. Oh, I have an app; it's going to work. You know, oh my God, it's like it hasn't. You know, 10 years ago, it wasn't ever like that. We were all, you know, basically ignored, but we were actually doing some scientific research that was actually making sense with electromagnetic fields and generators and why these things are going on, and comparing it. It wasn't just like, well, there's a ghost and he's haunted and he's a demon, he's dead. You know, we're not doing that anymore. Well, I've never done it, and very rarely do I do it. And I'm still, when I go out and do stuff, I'm always respectful and I'm trying to help people. Um, you know, to make them aware of why is this going on and how can we help it. And then maybe times you can't even help them because things just get attached. They've caused it, and there's an action to reaction, as I always say. Something had to happen for it to happen. You just doesn't happen out of blue air, you know, the air, and just like, oh, there's a demon, he's attacking me, you know, under the bed. It just doesn't happen. You know, they've been living in the house for years, and all of a sudden there's a demon, and they're pulling him under the bed and killing him off. Like it's just, you know, it's a horror movie, so it's just bizarre.
Well, and you got to think too. Not always is an apparition, a ghost, is going to have a message. It's just wants to be there. Basically, wants to be left alone. You know, so certainly you've run across that kind of thing.
Well, you know, we can cause things to happen, and more people do because we're all psychokinetic, right? We put out so much energy in our brains. So we can cause things if we're mad, to things be thrown off a table if you really want to. And you're upset with that person and upset with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Like, so the energy does go somewhere, and it can result into negativity or causing things to happen. But as most of the times, honestly, maybe 50%, I found that's just because of stress and because of anxiety. It hasn't been a ghost. And then when they kind of like calm down and things are cool and you go back, well, yeah, I guess it was. And then they realize, hey, it wasn't a ghost at all. They caused it, you know?
So, when you have certain objects or even the house itself with the wood and all the I guess what my point is it's almost like it's a video recorder in itself where it holds that energy, and so you have the same thing happen at a certain time
Yeah.
over and over and
Well,
over again.
you're right. Not
Residual.
not intelligent, but like reenactment. So like exactly. So we are like tape recorders. It goes off, and you go in a room, and there's something happening. It keeps going off, and it keeps playing. But then I've had the intelligent side of things where they're actually talking to you, and intelligent, and they know what time it is, they know what day it is, they know where you are, they know what year it is. There you go. That's an intelligent haunting. But why are they still there? Why can't they go on? Or they don't want to go on. They just don't want to leave, and they just want to like they're happy where they were because that's where their thing was, and that's exactly what's happening at Emma's back porch, where I do all my ghost tours for the last 20 years. I'm coming up 20 years anniversary, by the way, but Emma is still there, but we totally talked to her, totally active, totally intelligent. I mean, she's dead. She knows she's talking. Her husband's dead, and she goes, "No, I'm in control. I'm still in the restaurant." She has a British voice. She's talking, saying, "Yeah, why you want some tea and all this stuff?" And it was just like you're talking right to that person right there. And she goes, "Why are you here? And what are you doing? And who's you? Are you helping our restaurant out?" All this stuff was just like totally very intelligent, very bizarre, but it was really happening right there. And I
Yeah,
could actually acknowledge it with other people. It was just phenomenal. And that's what the best sessions I like.
that's got to be amazing. So where is the ghost walk at in Canada?
Well, I do a few right now, but I've always
Mhm.
been I live in Burlington, Ontario, which isn't far from Buffalo, New York. So if you go Niagara Falls, US way, and you come into Canada, maybe it's an hour from actually Niagara Falls, Buffalo, and we're right on the lake. So it's called Emma's Back Porch, in naming of Emma, because Emma ran it for like 25 years or more, and she was a proprietor, and it's the longest running restaurant in Ontario, in Canada. So the nice thing is it's set up like a lodge. It's a nice setting. It's on a lake. People can go there. There's a patio. The food is great. It's reasonable. It's a great place, and it's been going since 1990, like 92.
Oh
So
wow.
fantastic place, and still there and still doing the business. And Emma lived there, and then eventually she died. She sold it and died somewhere else. But the actual building itself is still there. Everything, the foundation is there. I do the tours there, and her children are there. The ghosts of the children who died, and she's still very much alive, as far as I think. She's dead because she's still running it.
Mhm.
And I've been encountering her for many years, and a lot of pictures are on our website that you can see and check out at burlingtonghostwalks.ca.
Everybody remember that, because if you ever get that way, you've got to go on one of those tours.
It's a great place. It's lots of entertainment, lots of food, lots of fun. If you ever comes to Ontario and tourism, I mean, you got to check it out. And you can always call me up, and I do ghost tours, and I'm kind of like the representative there for 20 years now. We're coming up to our anniversary, so it's like amazing. I've been doing ghost tours, I can't believe, for 20 years.
That's
Phenomenal, and it's still going.
Man, I was 30 years old when you started doing that.
And I can't believe it, but I mean, hey, people still like it, and they enjoy it, and they enjoy the atmosphere, and they enjoy the ghost stories. So I'm living one right now.
Well, I'm glad people are getting interest in this. It seems like it's growing more and more and more. I hope everyone takes the time to do research and be as respectful as possible, because this next generation that's coming up that's going to be doing the paranormal investigating, they need to be trained properly. Um, a lot of us just kind of jumped into it and wanted to mimic what they saw on television, and that's not really how it is.
Well,
Unless
no, I mean, you hand them something, and do they know what it does? Do you know what it is? You know what a ghost box does? Do you know what a
Right.
Ovilus is? Like all these things. They go, well, this is cool. Like, I mean, sure, it's cool, but are you doing anything with it? And are you getting any? I mean, I'm sure it's fun, because when there's a lot of people going out and they enjoy it and have fun with it. But I mean, a lot of people are, again, like you say, disrespectful. They're going to graves, they're drinking, they're partying. This is not a bar, people. This is serious stuff. And I'm sure that if you're dead, you don't want all that stuff tramping all over your grave, you know?
Oh, I'm going to be a prankster whenever I pass.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure that I mess with people. They ask me, what's your name? I'm going to tell them Pudding. If you remember that.
I mean, you can still have, like, there's a lot of groups now that are like para-unity. A lot of guys are going out and having fun and getting together and doing the proper thing. But then there's, like, I've never charged any money for anything other
Mhm.
than my tours. But investigate goes, if somebody needs help, I'm helping them. But I'm not going to go and charge money. Go, well, we're going to investigate this, or charge, for a reading or something like that. I don't do that because I know how I felt. Because once you're gone, the ghosts are still there.
Mhm.
They're still hanging around and then causing stuff to happen.
I'm a big advocate when it comes to the para-unity because it seems like there's even a war in our world, where, oh, I'm a better investigator than you are, and everybody's trying to get that television show, or I'm better than you, I know more than you. I'm sorry, but number one, you're never going to stop learning when it comes to this because
Well, I've said that many times. I mean,
yeah.
people say they try to label you as an expert. I know a lot of stuff. I mean, probably a good expert on technical stuff, on equipment, but I'll never say I'm an expert on paranormal because you never know what's going to happen next. We can't, because you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know. You haven't seen it. You can't. You feel it. You touch it. You sense it. But we are not dead. We're not spirit. We have no idea what's on the other side. We can claim there's certain things that are, continue. But I'll never be an expert because I'm always learning too. Still, I'm learning at this age and still doing it. And the old question is, what happens and wonder why, right?
Exactly. And I really appreciate the skeptics because it makes us want to work harder to prove things.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah. Well, again, again, I turned skeptics into believers because they said, well,
Mhm.
hey, I don't believe this. And then when they actually see it, they run away and they go, holy cow, that's happened. So, like, when they actually see it, but if you haven't experienced it, you don't know. You just don't know. And I'm not doing this to make tons of money. I've been on a lot of a lot of shows,
Oh yeah.
but like, it was there to get the word out and to get things out and have fun with it, but it was never there to well, I got to be on a TV show and that's it, and that's not what I'm about. I never go on and just go, wow, we're going to be on a TV show and who cares, like, then people just want to be on TV, but nothing happens regardless of that. So you know what I'm saying, we're not getting paid thousands of dollars. I'm not making millions of dollars. I still have a regular job.
Okay.
I do this because of passion. I love it. And I have fun with it, and people want to know and learn. But we're not out there to make it rich. And anybody who thinks that you are will tell you. Even with Jack Kenna, who I know, and Scott Porter, all these people, they're all doing it because they enjoy it, and they're doing it for the sake of investigations and research and history.
Yeah. Well, I talk back and forth with Shane Pittman sometimes, and I mean, he's got his 9 to 5 job, and he gets out there and he hustles to try to make money. But like you say, you get on these TV shows until the merchandising and things like that come into play, you're not going to make a lot of money, and it's not really as exciting as a lot of people think.
Well, half the time you're sitting around for like a couple hours doing nothing, drinking a coffee. And it's usually at the end when you're just about to leave, and it's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Go, oh, let's go. Oh, and then something happens, right? But ideally, I've sat for hours and nothing has happened at all.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I have got has been phenomenal. And I go, oh my god, like things have actually happened. Same with the haunted doll. Like, we'd sit for hours and something would happen, and we'd go, holy cow! But people think it just happens right after the one after the other. It doesn't, and some days nothing happens at all.
And people don't realize that, like ghost hunters and shows like that, those guys are there sometimes 2 weeks at a time before
Yeah,
they actually start getting anything.
yeah. And then they put it all in together in 1/2 hour, and they think, wow, it happens all the time.
Yeah. Oh, well, I can just go out there in one night and I'm going to get all this evidence. Yeah. I admit I don't get to spend as much time out there as I'd like to. Sometimes it's just a weekend, but you know as well as I do, it doesn't always happen when you expect it to happen.
Like we've been filming TV shows and nothing's happened for 2 days. And then they almost want to give up and they go, wow, we got a little EVP and that maybe took 10 minutes, right? After like, 10 hours of filming, right? So there you go. And it's like same when I was doing Casa Loma ghost tours. Oh my God, we do a whole tour and come back in investigations and maybe we got a clip of maybe 10 minutes. But that took like 12 hours later. Some people don't realize it.
And the thing I hated was how many times can you walk in the same freaking door? Oh, let's
Yeah,
try that again. Or
yeah.
pull into the parking lot again. I mean, come on. How difficult is it to get a shot of you driving into a driveway and walking into a door?
Had that been there, I have to admit though, when we were filming at Gettysburg, we did get a lot of activity on the field because it is very haunted. Things happen, a lot of action, people died. So we were getting a lot of stuff right away. Everybody was getting stuff. If you're recording it and you're going down, you want to see something really haunted and just right out of history and things happen, and that's where a place to be. Really, it is. It's the most haunted place I've ever seen in the U.S.
So, do you have any other places coming up that you're going to? It's kind of big and exciting.
Well, I've been doing stuff in Vegas. I've been doing stuff in Reno, Nevada, because I have my family lives there, and I've been doing. Oh man, there's like the tombstone, the old 1800s,
Yeah.
62, cemeteries. Oh my God, there was gunfights and fighting and everything going on. We're getting all kinds of stuff over there. But that's just phenomenal. That's the old West, right? That's just like, holy cow, we're right in there. Where's the saloon? It's just amazing.
Well, I mean, I admit I'm ready to see a ghost, but the history alone is so intriguing.
Yeah.
I just tell me the stories. I want to know, especially
Like I'm sure you're in Austin, Texas. Like, come on, lots of stuff happens there. I've heard a lot of the ghost tours, and people are just freaking about the stuff that has stuff happens.
Oh yeah, well we got the Driscoll Hotel and places like that, and plus a lot of Native American stuff goes on around here. There's a lot of burial grounds around here.
Yeah.
And then we're only a couple of hours away from San Antonio. You go there and you got the Alamo and all that.
Well, again, the Alamo, yeah, that big tourist place. Some people are going there. History. Sure, there's a lot of ghost things happening there. There's a lot of fighting that went on. Big battles. Like, I mean, I can even feel it before not even going there. I can tell you
So
for
have you
sure.
been to the Alamo?
I haven't been, but I want to check it out on my bucket list. Of course, I want to go there. I want to go to Texas. There's a lot of places I want to go. The Queen Mary. Like, there's so many things that I still want to, like, history-wise, want to visit and have a good vacation and then record stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like
I'm
Chicago, big stuff for like the whole prohibition that went on, the whole like drinking and the whole controlled by the guys that were right in there for like the drinking and all the alcohol. Man, that is just phenomenal stuff. Tour stuff that's over there.
there's a Ripley's Museum right across from the Alamo. I haven't been there, but I don't know, it'd be kind of fun. Ripley's, believe it or not.
Well, they used to have one in Niagara Falls, Canada side, and then they closed it down. But all the things in there, I swear, were haunted. Like a lot of stuff would just, you go in there, you could feel a presence attached. And it was all wax museum, right? But it was just like amazing. And then they had some like haunted stuff and things from Victorian times and period clothing, a lot of stuff. Like, oh man, I feel the energy off that. It was just amazing.
So I'm kind of wondering if they're even going to let us cross over right now with all the virus stuff going on.
Well, they closed all the Canadian borders. They call the U.S. borders. I can't go anywhere now. Not that I was planning on going in a couple of months. Hopefully it'll be over. But I usually go summertime. I come over the states and all over the place.
Yeah.
New York, Buffalo, Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to Philadelphia. I'm going to Gettysburg, Connecticut, everything. So hopefully I'm coming down there in July or August. In Texas, I want to go. But right now we're stuck.
Well, all I gotta say is you come to Austin, you better give me a holler.
For sure.
Take you to
I
6th
will.
Street.
That'll be fun. I'm sure you can show me the sights and show me the ropes and the tours over there, because like that'd be amazing to record.
See, we can get our equipment together, and I know if you talk to them at the Driscoll, they let you go around and investigate. So yeah, we got to try that.
For sure.
So you got anything else going on? Because I know you're a busy guy.
Well, except like the main show I've been mostly involved with is this haunted doll thing, and we have another haunted doll which is called Jessie, which is kind of weird because she's older than Boo, and she's an actual a child attachment. There's pictures of her on my Facebook, but I mean the weird thing is, she doesn't say much. She just says I'm here, and apparently she's opened portals, actual open portals to another room, to another dimension, another time in the 1800s. I haven't seen it, but the woman who I work with, she's actually seen this and actually was able to almost walk in. I wouldn't do it because you don't know if you're going to come back. But there's a whole room of this whole Victorian time, and maybe she's showing where she was, as you can maybe go in and come and go back in time. I don't know. It's just phenomena. And we were doing these green light things, the green light sensors we put on, and you capture ghosts, and it's all like the lighting. If you've seen the green lasers, anyways. And we were doing it around her one night, and there was this whole swirling green portal opening up. I was just like, "Oh my God, it's happening!" And I was so thrilled and going, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Wow!" And we were trying to get it open up, and the whole dimension was like the air and the whole thing around it was just opening. This whole like it was just like Star Trek. It was like the whole portal was opening up, and we could see inside it, but then it closed. I guess we were too excited or something, or maybe Jesse got upset. I don't know, but it was funny, and I wish I would have had that picture. It was just amazing.
I would go through, and I probably wouldn't come back.
Yeah, and you don't know. I mean, years ago, I had this whole thing happening. You could literally hear the air ripping apart. Like it was just sound like tearing. I was doing this Royal Canadian Legion. It's like home for vets and things like that, veterans, in Toronto. And we were there, and this whole room was opening up. Like it was just bizarre because the room was all carpeted. Everything was all nice, and we could literally hear it moving going on the other side. And there's like almost like Muggsy go, "Hey, yeah, here, they're trading guns and all this stuff, and drinking, and the whole room just turned into like concrete floor. And you could hear the walking and steps and echoes of another room that was never there. And you could hear these gangsters running around doing stuff and having a meeting. They're drinking, and nothing was there, honestly. And I recorded it. It was just phenomenal. And then it just was lasted about 5-10 minutes, closed back up and carpet again. Phenomenal.
It may be just my eyes playing tricks on me, or maybe it's the video itself, but I swear I've seen something twice move behind you.
Oh, jeez. Well, actually, my room here, better now than it was, but it has been haunted and has been had when I've done on radio shows. There has been these little demon guys, and like they're more minions than anything else, little entities, and they were running around, flying around, and they'd have black tails and spiked tails and like really hideous, and these little bastards that want to just get you, right? But I've had psychics come in and other people like clear it, so it's been pretty good since Christmas. But I swear to God, like I would be talking and I swear, and it goes, "There's a demon just flying right by your head." It
Yeah.
just go like a little dragon guy, and people would say that from like here, with me on live and on the radio. It's just phenomenal, and thank God it's gone. And I am wearing protection right now. By the way, I'm wearing black obsidian,
Right.
which does help. So I'm grounded, and I'm trying to be okay with it.
Well, okay, you've got, I guess it's a window to your right, and then right above your head earlier, it looked like something white had came in and then moved out of the frame. And then just a few minutes ago, you picked up your hand and it looked like it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like what do they call those things? When you see the entities or whatever, and they're
Yeah.
long and they're cylindrical.
Yeah. Well, that's
It
what I've had, but I mean, like I have nothing affected me, but I do have an 1800s, or sorry, an earlier, an actual sword. There are a couple of here that have like from Knights Templar that are
Oh,
from like
wow.
1200s. And oh my God, these things have the real blood on it. They were in battle. That can attract shit. It's like, but I mean, I've been like cleansing stuff, so I haven't touched anything for a while. But I mean, that could very well be what it is, you know?
Well, all I gotta say is I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video again because I know I've seen something.
Well, let me know. Yeah, if you catch it, just post it, man.
We
But
will we'll make a
most of the time,
screenshot.
I think I've been pretty good lately for the last couple of months. So I haven't, even when I've done the ghost tours, I worry about when I go on the tours because I attract stuff. The thing comes on, and I swear people have said, I did the tour, and then shit, there's things follow me home, and they go, holy cow, and then they tell you what it is, and there's all kinds of stuff that fall home and like after the tour. So I've done the tours, and I've had the whole residue of stuff come home on me, phenomenal.
Well, it's just something about uh, people with abilities, like my wife is an empath, and I know you have abilities yourself, and it seems like these things just automatically attract to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sensitive and open, like I try to turn it down because I'm trying to live my life, right?
Right.
Oh my God, I've had things attracted to me all the time when I'm like around, and not, and that's probably why I just get a lot of like media and TV because people come to me and they go, "Wow, you're haunted." And I go, "I didn't mean it to be. It just happens, right?" And I try to relay my story and help people with the same experiences if they have. But some people, I swear, they'll have nothing happen. They'll force it. They'll run around. They'll try and do stuff. They'll pour water on themselves. They want to be haunted and possessed, and they go, "What? Why would you want to be?" And it's like it just comes to me.
Well,
Um, but in no way, I'm always trying to be a positive person. So if
yeah. Well, I can speak from experience. I've actually had something attached to me and it made me physically ill. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to invite something in, especially if you don't know what it is. You never know what's going to happen.
yeah, I've
Mm.
I've had attachments on me, and I swear it's the worst thing. It's worse than being sick. Because the one that I know of that I guess another like I said, like I don't know if you know much about attack or demon attack or anything.
I haven't had a
But that one
demon.
attaches right to the base of your spine, right? And
Right.
I'm like, oh my God, it's like this thing just bit me and it's right in your spine and it's like this little thing that's on you and you want to get rid of it and you just throw it away and you can hear it flying away. And next thing you know, you got something and you feel sick and everything.
Yeah, that's not fun. Yeah,
No.
but um, so with everything that's going on with you, I know people are listening and they're going to say, okay, well, how do I follow Patrick Cross? Where do we find you on social media?
Well, my main thing, of course, Facebook is pretty big now. Is Patrick Cross. You can just look it up, punch it up on there. Posting stuff and anything else that anybody wants. And of course, my website is burlingtonghostwalks.ca, which is I'm trying to always update it. And again, people can email me at ghostly1@bell.net. So I'm there and I'm on Instagram. So, people find me and probably more of the ghosts find me first before anybody else does, which is happening a lot. So, kind of strange, but, it's like, yeah, but I'm always like helping people. So I'll always message you back and I'm pretty, have a good time. And if there's something going on, we're trying to help, of course.
Oh, it's very much appreciated. And I must say, I mean, there's people out there that are on television and they think that there is, this is the best thing in the world. You can't touch me. But I appreciate your friendship. And I know we should probably talk more, but you've always been that down to earth and, you are a regular guy and people need to remember you're a person. Just because you've been on television, I mean, that's great. I applaud anyone that gets on television. That's awesome. But remember who you are, and that's you. You're the
Well, I said
epitome
I've
of
been
that.
doing this for like, oh my God, 28 years now. And I've been around before TV was around, doing all this stuff. I was doing this way before people thought it was nuts and crazy. And it just got bigger. And then now it's embellished and now it's bigger. But I've always stayed to my roots, right? Because I grew up and I was always there. Well, why has it happened to me? What's going on? Why am I attacked? And what's going on? And how can I help somebody else now that they're doing it? And also helping new people research, and helping them like do the right thing and going out to stuff and being respectful. And always saying like, it's great to research, but you got to know, walk away sometimes, and you got to know when to do it and when not to do it. And
Yeah.
it can be really dangerous, as you know. Things can happen, man, and you can get possessed and shit. Like all this stuff can happen. I've had a lot of things change my life. I've had a lot of bad luck when things and entities and demons took over, and I didn't know why. And it wasn't, you can't go to the hospital, you can't go to the doctor, you can't go nothing. And it just passes right through you. And it can go on for like weeks if you've
Oh
been
yeah.
there. And like I've had major bad luck, fires, oh my God, cars blowing up, everything. And it just affects your health, affects your job, affects your life.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely.
you got to be careful with it. You got to be grounded. You got to be protected. So if you're going to do any of this stuff, find out what you're getting in with first before you do anything.
I made friends with a group over in San Antonio, and I love the guy to death that's over it because he's got the same mind as I do. Let's bring people together and stop the division. And I he asked me if I would come along on one of his investigations, and apparently they're dealing with either it's an incubus or a succubus. All they know is something seems to be molesting the people that are there. And I have a medium, I actually have two mediums that work with me, but one that I talk to on a regular basis. And she knew before I did that they were going to ask me to go along. And she called and she goes, I know something's fixing to happen, and I know who it's going to be with. I know what's going to happen if you go. So you need to not even associate with this whatsoever. And so, you listen to these things. I used to think, oh, these mediums are just,
Mm-hmm.
it's a parlor trick,
Mm-hmm.
but it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I even then they told me there's lots of activity going on there, and that's something that I strive to find, is so I can get that evidence. But if it's going to be danger to me or my family, then yeah, you have to walk away. I don't care how incredible it is. You got to be
Exactly.
careful.
Because you got to live with it afterwards. What are you bringing home, right? And that's the sad part. I mean, it's real. So a lot of people, they go, "Wow, I did all this stuff, and now, oh my God, now they're haunted, or they're getting everything happening to them, and it didn't happen before it went. They went, and so what's going on? And now nobody's going to fix you, or it's going to take a heck of a long time to fix it. And the smudging, all that stuff is not going to help you, because whatever it is, it wants you, and that's it. It got you, and it's attached.
Hmm.
And you just gotta either deal with it, or you gotta, really work on something to fix it.
Now, have you ever had to deal with something like that, an incubus or a succubus?
Well, yeah, like I haven't told this story on any shows. I've been on like what now, maybe 30 shows in the last year, which is a lot.
Hmm.
But interesting, because we were talking about this. I'm working on a book right now too, called Demons and Entities, in the paranormal, which is a lot of the stories I've actually want people to relate to and put out, because I think it's really needed right now. Um, but the one story was really cool because several years ago, back in 2006, um, I was intrigued by the succubus and the incubus thing. I thought, hey, this is cool. And for a man, it's the succubus, right? For women,
Right.
it's a female demon entity. So I thought, oh, this is interesting. And I ended up contacting somebody on eBay. For some strange reason, I was attracted. I was going through a divorce, very depressed. My life was all over the place. And, I thought, well, this would be cool to try. Maybe something will come out of it. And I got this ring for some reason. I said, well, the ring will actually give you prosperity, help, but beware, because it has female demon entities that can cause all kinds of shit and happen in sexual pleasure, right?
Hmm.
I'm thinking, well, I don't really believe it, but I'll try it, check it out. And it's like, and I had read it, and it's supposed to give you, you know, pleasure, extreme pain, but also give you a lot of wealth and health. So I'm thinking, well, hey, I'll check it out. So it was a warning. So I got it, got this ring, came in and going, wow. And it's just bizarre. It's just, but it has vessels of these 8 demon entities inside the ring, right? These female demon entities, succubus. And they had names and everything out, the whole bit, whole list of it and what to do, what to do. So I'm thinking, and it said, well, when you go to bed, put the ring by your bed, right? By your head side, on your pillow, and, maybe the demons, mostly they will come to you in your dreams. And they'll be sexually satisfying you. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't really believe it. Oh my God. Next thing you know, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's this whole swoosh of air just flying around. And it was just bizarre. And you could hear it cackling. It was like, I swear, it was like a movie, like Disney.
Mm.
And it was all coming around. They were attacking me, and then one was attacking me, and oh man, trying to, literally rape me and hold me down and have sex and everything else. It was just bizarre on top of me, and the pain was excruciating. It was just beyond, but it was also pleasure too, like extreme pleasure and pain at the same time. They had these demon things wanted to have their way with me, of course, and they're going, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was clawed, it was cut, I was bit, I was everything else. Beyond, it was just like something that just literally took your way with you and tortured you and raped you, kind of thing.
Right.
And that and that went on. Oh my God, I woke up and I was sore. It was brutal. I was like, how did this happen? Right? Couldn't believe it. So I thought, okay, I washed the ring off with salt and everything else. Figured, well, I'll just have a shower the whole bed, get rid of it, and maybe nothing will happen. Next night happened again. Same thing happened again, and now it was apparently I was the master of the ring, and that's what the title of this episode is called from my book. And I'm going, oh my God! So what did I contact, right? So I'm trying to kind of deal with it, and the only thing I literally, the only way I could actually fix it was I talked to someone. Well, you got to put it in salt, you got to put it in vinegar, you got to cover it with moss, and you got to close it up and seal it because the thing is going to happen and attach it. I still got the stupid thing, believe it or not, and it's in a case that's locked up. But I haven't opened the case for like years. And every now and then the case starts jumping around and it says, I'm going to kill you if I get ever out of here. So there's these demon vessels. These women are entities. And I've never had such excruciating experience with it. It's a succubus, right? Like and it's still there, and I can't bury it. I can't get rid of it. I can't throw it out because it'll come back and haunt me and be possessed to me. So I really don't know how. Anybody out there wants how to get rid of a succubus ring that's haunted, let me know, because it's not like a Ouija board. This is like really powerful stuff, and I don't want to open the case because it'll just come out. And if you did, you smell this whole mist and moss, and it was just like in a forest. It's just unreal. But it's from the earth, and it's very attached, and I don't know what to do with it. But like I haven't had anything with it happen. I closed up, sealed it all up the best I could, but damn it, like I just don't know what to do with it now.
See, the experience that you were describing was the same thing that was going on at that house that we got invited to go investigate. And I mean, I'm sorry, I've got a new grandbaby here. I don't need stuff like that coming in here and affecting my family,
And it's real. Like you don't think it is, but I like. Oh my God! Yeah. If you've experienced anything like that, being held down and almost strangled, and like claw marks and cuts and bruises to all this stuff, these things can attach to you, and it's real. So I stay away from it.
Yeah, I've had the cuts and scratches and things like that. I mean, nothing severe, but enough to say, okay, I've got something going on here. That actually happened at Yorktown Hospital, if you know where Yorktown's at.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that was a crazy experience, but that's for another show. That's a long experience right there. But we are running out of time, my friend. And
always great to be here. Always great to be on your show.
Man, I appreciate you. I really do. And I say we need to probably keep closer communication. So you get here or I get over there. We got to get together and go hunt something.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Hunt something that doesn't chase you, though.
As long as it stays where we saw it. I don't need it to come home with me.
Well, yeah, I'm planning on coming down. And there's always something stories to share and have a good time and be safe. That's the main thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Patrick, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing all your projects come to fruition. And everyone that's joined us, thank you for listening in, and stay tuned because we've got lots of other guests that are coming. That's very exciting, and we appreciate your support. And y'all
Great.
take
And
care.
it's always great to have to be on a good show because you guys you're real. You're not just saying, well, what happened
Thank
and
you.
sensationalism and what's this and what's that. We tell it like it is, and we're out there, and that's the main thing, and that's the only way you can relate to one person or another. We're all here, and we're all in it together, you know.
Yes.
So that's the main thing.
Well, I appreciate your kind words, sir.
And thank you for being there and having me on, and hopefully people can learn and check out more shows and enjoy and have a good time with it.
And everyone that's been very supportive to the network. We've gone a different direction. We have paranormal shows. We have a comedian. We have a cosplayer, and we've got some haunted history going on. Some witchy stuff that's fixing to come on, and I've got another show where we talk about positivity and people that overcome certain things, and it seems like it all kind of still blends together somehow, even though
Mm-hmm.
everything's so different. But thank you for your support, and please pass the word on, and let's really make this something special.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Po boy.